2 of the first day of pool play here in Chicago, Illinois, the MLB Nike RBI Central Regional Tournament. It's Indy and Gary. We just saw Indy. They're keeping their lineup pretty much the same order, except in this one, they're putting in Lindwall for Owings in that final spot. Other than that, or for Porter, excuse me, in that final spot. Indy just played the Kansas City Royals program.
Yeah, Indy did not have too much of a turnaround. They had to go quickly, so just right back into it. And let's see how they can continue game 2.
Pops this one up. It'll get into center field. Just pass shortstop. It's a leadoff single for Egan.
Yeah, great start for Gary. This is it's important. You know, we've seen in the first game, it's important to get off on that front foot and get on that first start. So already doing that.
Yeah, that's exactly what Indy did. They had a very strong 10 spot in the 4th inning. That game was over in 5 innings due to our mercy rule. They were up by 8 or more in the 5th. Cowan shanks this one back. 1-1 the count. Starting pitcher for Indy here is Dowdy. This one popped up and dropped. The runner will advance to second. And Cowan stays on first.
Yeah, just a miscue there, and I think taking Gadberry, as good as she is offensively, just trying to get under her feet, and just a quick miscue, and that already puts a runner at second. So just got to get under her feet. You know, it happens. You've already been playing game number 1, a little bit tired, a little bit fatigued. Let's see how they respond.
First 2 runners here in the top of this first inning for Gary get on base. The first pitch to Villa, a ball. This one high. She has to duck down to avoid the hit. It's a wild pitch. Both runners will advance, and they're now both in scoring position. 2-0 the count. Nobody down.
And what a start for Gary.
This one a little bit inside the zone, but in the zone nonetheless. It's now 2-1 on Villa.
You know, we praised Aaliyah Dowdy in that first game, how good she was on both sides of the ball, and already here pitching, she's got a lot of versatility to her game.
This one fouled back into the fence. But yeah, like you mentioned, Dowdy, a very, very strong game in that first one for Indy. She'll even the count here. And Villa goes down swinging after being up in the count. 2-0. Now here's Savannah Roberts, a name we're familiar with from last night. Winner of the Home Run Derby, 11 total home runs. Really good way to represent her program here in their first year as a softball program in this RBI Central Regional Tournament.
And we praise her swing, of how good of a swing she has.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah. So smooth, so quick with the hands. Yeah, she had that, we talked about that four home runs in the first and then 7 in the second, just exploded in the final round. Such an asset for this team, and they're excited to have her.
And I'm sure that victory in the home run derby, probably led to her being 4th in this lineup. You know, if you can get a couple on base, get 3 on base, best case scenario, and then she cranks one over the fence, it's a grand slam. You get up early. So this is a really good spot for her in the lineup. Two and 1 the count on her. Swing and a miss. The throw to third. Trying to get her out. Unable to do so. I'm sure Dowdy is very aware of Roberts and what she was able to do last night. So extra caution with her at the plate. It's the pitch. She swings it, lines down the third base line. The throw to first is in time, and she's on her way home. That throw not in time. And an early RBI for Savannah Roberts.
Yeah, already making an impact. Maybe not the direction where she wanted it, but it was the right spot because that brought a run home. And already Gary up 1-0.
That first pitch low on Chavez. She smacks this one into the gap. It'll get through to the outfield. She'll hold up at first. And another RBI there for Chavez. She'll bring Cowan home.
It's so important for Gary trying to catch Indy at a time where they just played a game, had to get up that early game, that early start, that 8:30 start. And now here later, as we head into the afternoon, they're just trying to find some rhythm. And Gary coming out fresh, coming out hot, and it's already showing.
This one low. And you have to take into account the fact that early game, 8:30, they have both the early slots here. Indy does today back to back. There's probably going to be some sort of fatigue. You know, that first game didn't go all 7 innings, but if this one does 12 straight innings of softball with hardly any break, what was it, like 10 minutes? It's not an easy feat to accomplish as the pitch goes wild here and advancing to second. Chavez at second now. Hamer at the plate. Here's the pitch. She smacks this one over the head of the shortstop. It's into left field. She's in a little bit of a pickle now, but she'll run back to first for the throw is in time. So she'll be out at first, but the run comes in to score. 3-0 Gary after the top of the first. Stay tuned. We'll have the rest of this game for you on the Windy City Sports Network. Welcome back on the Windy City Sports Network. Gary, RBI at Indy, RBI on the first day of the softball pool play. Gary got the ball rolling early. 3 hits, 3 runs. Now up to bat, Jones for Indy. An RBI for Jones in the first game.
Yeah, she's impressive. She's an impressive leadoff hitter. Tatiana Jones has already got things going early for Indy, and they definitely like to use her in her spot. In this spot, she has a lot of speed and is very disciplined at the plate.
An early walk. Jones gets on base. Do you think Cowan did that intentionally? Maybe seeing what she was able to do in that first game, walk her intentionally?
Well, I mean, certainly I think that, that option for the double play is there if they do that. I think, Jones is certainly somebody that is very good, and she got a lot of speed, though. I don't know, maybe she might have done it intentionally. It certainly may have not seemed like it, but, I mean, that is definitely a strategy that they could use, knowing that Napier likes to hit a lot of them on the ground, so that option for the double play is definitely there.
Cowan, the starting pitcher for Gary. Here's the 0-2. Napier decides not to swing at that one. Good decision. It's a ball. 1-2. That one in the dirt. And Jones on her way to steal second. She'll do so easily.
She's got the one thing about this Indy team, they definitely have good bats, but they have a lot of speed. So if they're able to get on base, I mean, you saw Gadberry, the speed she had with that triple last game, a lot of speed. So if they're able to find the way on base, they can work the bags well.
Yeah, they do. These runners and batters in the lineup, a lot of speed. And for those who don't, they have a lot of really fast girls on their bench too. So those pinch runners come in, just a lot of speed all around for them. If they can get on base, get in scoring position, this is a dangerous Indy team you have to watch out for. Full count. She goes down, swinging.
Yeah, big pitch there. I mean, that could have potential, but a ball 4, put 2 runners on base, 1 in scoring position with no outs, but a huge pitch, and that Cowan sends her down.
Here's Dowdy now, the starting pitcher for this game. A strikeout in the first inning. She's up in the count early. The 1-0, fouled back, straight back.
A ball and a strike. That's certainly something Dowdy wants here with only 1 out. Yeah, she reached for that one.
Yeah, gets her swinging there. That had a nice break on it. Came towards the plate, looked like it was fairly straight, and then just kind of tilted outward a little bit right as it approached Dowdy. Got her swinging on that one. 1-2 the count now. This one, she fouls it up and back way over our heads here in the broadcast booth. The runner at second is Jones.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about Gary. This is a team that they haven't sent. This is their first year playing in this tournament, and hearing from their one of their operations, one of their guys that for them, Nate George, he's a youth advocate for Gary, and he talked about he saw this tournament last year in Chicago, and he's like, well, why aren't we there? Why haven't we sent a team there? So he's just excited to be here. And he told him, he said, I was kind of waiting on the right time. I didn't want the Little League to think that we were trying to take over their territory, but he's just excited to be here and have Gary participate.
These girls are very excited to be here, I'm sure as well. They have an early lead. This one smacked down the third base line. Fumbling with it is the third baseman. She'll get to first on time, and then the throw to second off target. She's rounding third. They're going to send her home. This should score the throw in, not in time. And Jones is the first one on the board for Indy in their second game of the day.
2 errors on that one. Boy, that really got away from Gary. Opportunity. The third baseman looking out to get it at second. Looked at first, looked at second, threw it to second. 2 errors on that, and how about that, Indy on the board?
Here's Cheyenne Daniel. She was a participant in the home run derby yesterday as well. Did not make the final round. An RBI for her in the first game, as well as a strikeout and a ground out. That pitch right down Broadway. Daniel doesn't swing at it. First pitch to her, a strike. Reached for that one, up high. And she'll go down.
Yeah, Daniel, as great of a hitter she is, at times she can be undisciplined at the plate, reaching for balls that go above her shoulder and above her belt line. At times she can be great, but a little undisciplined there.
So Cowan has struck out half the batters she's faced. Only allowed 1 run. This is Sellers at the plate. 1-0 the count. This one off the tip of her bat and fouled back. Pinch runner will come in here for Indy. It's Mansour. Sellers watches this one go by. It's a strike, 1 and 2. 2 down. 1 run for Indy up to this point, courtesy of the RBI double by Dowdy. She gets her swinging. And that'll be the final out. So 3 strikeouts here in the first inning for Cowan. She's off to a strong start. 3-1 Gary over Indy on the Windy City Sports Network. the second. Gary at Indy. Dowdy, the pitcher, the first one she throws in the second inning is a strike. She smacks this one over the head of the second baseman. The throw right back to her, but she'll reach first. So that was over the head of Gadberry. Having to make the play was the right fielder. So on base early for Gary in the second inning. It's a ball.
Yeah, Abby Staten-Ball, she another home run participant yesterday. But it's funny, the home run participants, a lot of them we've seen just get on base. And that was just a testament to what we saw yesterday. And Gary already having the bats going early. 4 hits. They've capitalized off of that. 3 runs as well. And they've committed 2 errors in the field, but this is a team right now that is hot on the offensive side and have a lot of talent in terms of swinging the ball, swinging the bat.
Yeah, like you said with the Derby yesterday, a lot of these girls just getting on base, singles, doubles. But, you know, we were kind of wondering with the girls who didn't make numbers in that Derby, because only 4 of them did, but a lot of them were hitting it into gaps that would have been good if it was a real game, and we're seeing that now. Our prediction came true, Joey, so I guess we're just that good. 2-2. The count on Hawkstra. Dowdy, that one's inside, but she takes a whack at it. The throw to first will be in time, but advancing to second is ball.
Yeah, Gadberry made up for that error she committed earlier in this game in the first inning. Just able to routine ground ball, nothing special. Just make the right play at first, and that's certainly what she did there. Advanced the runner, yeah, but able to get one out there and just start to get on the board.
Yeah, that's kind of how both teams are playing this game. All the runs on the board, the result of RBI. So they're just really trying to advance their batters for the sake of the team. There's a strike on Cowan. She's the bottom of the order, but the starting pitcher. 3 strikeouts in the first inning. That's how they all went down. So a really good start for her in that regard. She chops this one back. The runner at second is Ball, the 1-2. And she'll go down. A strikeout for Dowdy.
Yeah, back to the top of the lineup. I think right now they're in a position, 2 outs, runner in scoring position. You know, Egan already had a single. Looking to add to that here.
Egan and Cowan both had singles, so if they can do that again without any outs, that'll send her home, and they do. That one is lobbed into left center, and she will come home to tack on another one for Gary. That's stay the ball, courtesy of the second single in a row by Egan, and now up to the plate is Cowan. She smacks this one, swings at the first one. She sees it just stays inside the foul line. And rounding third, they're going to send her home. It's Egan. An RBI double there for Cowan.
How about that? One of the Cowan sisters just able to deliver that ball. And man, oh man, Indy, Gary, back-to-back innings with at least 2 runs. And they certainly right now have taken a good command of this game.
So pinch runner will come in for Cowan again. It's Raucho. Or excuse me. Cerseo. That one off the tip of Villa's bat. Shanked foul out of the park.
Yeah, pretty interesting what Nate George, the youth advocate for Gary, had to say about this softball team. He said, quite frankly, they don't have the infrastructure yet to support an all-stars team. They only have one high school in Gary with a softball team. So these are girls that not only from Gary. Talking to Savannah Roberts yesterday, she's from Illinois, so around the southwest Chicago area and Gary as well. So comprised of girls from that area, not exactly Gary, but just around Illinois and Indiana. So this is a team, though, but has a lot of talent that we've seen so far, and they're definitely showing it.
5-1 early in this one. That pitch inside, she'll get the walk. Runners on first and second. Cerseo and Villa. This one popped right over the head of Dowdy. Roberts swinging on the first pitch. She sees the throw. Not in time. The base is loaded now for Gary. 2 down. You want to try to avoid the double play here. But Roberts able to get on base. Now it'll be Chavez. That one right down Broadway. First pitch to Chavez in the second is a strike. Here's the 1-1. She whacks at that one. It's fouled back. That one low.
A lot of energy from this Gary team. They're singing in the dugout right now, having the chance of their own. They have a lot of energy and certainly bringing that. Already 5 runs so far. Looking to add more.
That's what's doing it. It's the cheering. This one lobbed way up and back.
Well, certainly given their teammates confidence, and certainly seems like it. Like when you know your team's behind your back, you have all the confidence in the world to do something great. And boy, Gary, right now, deuces run across the board and see if they can capitalize.
And with Gary being a much smaller program, she whacks this one just foul into left field. A lot of these girls probably know each other and have played with each other, so they have that kind of connection. They have that familiarity with each other. They're not just a brand new group of girls that were all thrown together and packed on a bus and sent to Chicago.
Yeah, Nate George said, we came here to compete. We didn't come here just for a haircut.
This one popped up into left field. She'll get underneath it for the final out of the inning. We'll be back on the Windy City Sports Network. bottom of the second. 5-1. Gary over Indy. First pitch of the inning, it's a bunt. Cowan will sweep it up the throw to first. In time, an early, easy out for Gary to kick off their defensive play in the second. That was Sellers who was out at first. Here's Rollins. This one off the tip of her bat. Way foul to the right. Cowan deciding on the pitch. This one breaks just a little bit to the outside. It'll be a ball.
There may be some confusion then on the screen that Indy was up 5-1, but it was Gary up 5-1. There was a little bit of technical difficulties, but Gary currently in a 5-1 lead right now. 7 hits of their own. They've been dominant so far. Defensively is sparking the offense, and it's certainly showing that. Yeah, so Gary right now in command.
Cowan, a big part of that. She struck out 3 of the 5 batters she faced in that first inning. All the outs were strikeouts courtesy of Cowan. And there's another one. The second out of the inning. Indy is 1 away from going down in order. 4th strikeout through 2 innings for Cowan. Very strong start for her to bolster this Gary offense. The plate now is Gadberry. Strong first game for her. A double and a triple. One of those triples won to start the inning with no outs, so she's a good one to try and get things going, which is what Indy's going to try to do here. 2 outs pretty early, very early actually. 2 batters, 2 outs, and 1 strike already on her. The 0-1, this one is smacked through the 3-4 gap. She'll get to first.
Yeah, good hit there. Able to direct that ball through the right field gap, and I certainly think that that needs to spark some offense in a position where there is 2 outs, able to get on base, but it only can matter if you can capitalize and add to this.
Bottom of the order here is Lindual. Stealing second, Gadberry. The 0-1 is low. 1-1 the count now. She swings at that one. The throw to third will be in time. 3 quick outs through 4 batters. And Gary's back up to bat. We'll have it for you on the Windy City Sports Network. Top of the third here. Gary looking to tack on some insurance runs.
You know, I think the theme through the first two games is how quickly a team can start, because, you know, we saw Indy in the first game. You know, they were up 3-0, 3-1 pretty quickly. And then that fourth inning just put up a 10 spot and really put the game out of reach. But Gary, you know, 2 runs in at least the first of the 2.
This one's smacked all the way up to left field as Lindwall makes the catch. An early out on Statham ball. Approaching the bottom of the order. It's the 8th one in Hawkstra. First pitch to her. She'll bunt this one. Squeaks foul. The runner at second is Hamer. An early 0-1 count, 1 out. Here's the pitch. She whacks at this one as well. It'll go for the second strike as she fouls it back. That one inside. She decides not to take a swing at it.
Yeah, looks like Dowdy there. She threw a pretty fast pitch, and now she's holding that right arm, that right shoulder. Yeah, Dowdy, yeah, as soon as she made that pitch, she threw it with a lot of speed, a lot of force. She immediately grabbed that right shoulder. Dowdy, such a key piece, an important player. They would hate to lose her, especially this early, only in their second game.
Yeah, she's been so good so early on both sides of the ball. This isn't something you like to see. So they'll check on her, see if she's okay. We'll be back on the Windy City Sports Network. Back to resume the top of the third inning here on the Windy City Sports Network. Gary up 5-1 over Indy as Voss comes in for Cowan. Gets her swinging on the first pitch.
There's already 2 strikes, and Voss just, all she had to do was make sure that one got over the plate, and certainly did there.
This one popped high into right field. Getting underneath it was Porter for the easy out to end the inning. So Voss was the starting and only pitcher for Indy in the first game. 2 strikeouts for her, 3 walks.
Yeah, I think Indy, as they've been great defensively. They got solid pitching. I think this game though, a little bit not as, maybe the pitching has been a bit different from Kansas City to Gary. They've only had 1 hit, 1 run because of it, but they certainly in this game, in the bottom of the third, they're going to have to start to get going.
Back for the bottom of this third inning. Dowdy taking the mound yet again. Or Cowan.
Yeah, Porter showed bunt there, as she may have gotten hit in the hand. It looks like she was shaken up just a bit there. That's the thing when you show bunt, you always run that risk.
So Ayanna Porter is coming in to hit. She wasn't in the starting lineup, but it looks like she is now. Cowan on the mound. She's looking to bunt again, but that one high in the zone.
You know, this Gary program, you know, they're in a region where basketball and football are mostly predominant, and you know, softball is starting to rise, into baseball and softball starting to become more popular in this region, and that's always great to see, especially growing the game of softball and women's sports. So really awesome to see. And this Gary team so far have allowed 1 hit, 5 runs because of it as well. And they have been on top of it on both sides. And that's exactly what you want to see from your team, especially coming in here, first year in the tournament. I don't really know the field and how kind of the layout is, but it is the same game as softball. So they have been great so far. So excited to see how this team does, not only the rest of the game, but throughout this tournament.
Yeah, like you said, it's the game of softball. They're playing the game they know how to play. They're doing quite a good job at it here early. 5-1. The count is full for Porter. This one right down the middle, and she goes down looking.
You know, a lot of these girls, they do play high-level softball for Gary. So, you know, when this is done, they eventually would go back to their respective high schools. But, you know, here in the summertime, an opportunity to get together and compete for something a little bit greater than yourself. And certainly seems like they've done that so far. But still early in this tournament, still early in this game, this Indy team we've seen, they can hit in an abundance and hit fast. They're only down 4 runs. Not the greatest of starts. Had that first run in the first inning, but right now just trying to get back onto their feet again.
Yeah, and we saw in that first game, once they got going, that 10 spot in the 4th inning, they were going. They were putting up, I'm not sure, I don't remember exactly how many it was, but most of those were with nobody out. It was a hard inning for Kansas City, and Indy really took advantage of that. So they can blow it open if they need to, and Gary is going to want to do everything they can to prevent that.
Yeah, I mean, like you talked about, I think it just starts with their pitching as well. Gary's bullpen seems a little bit deeper right now, and certainly that if you have a deep bullpen, you have great pitchers, you can compete in any game.
5 strikeouts for Gary in this one. It's the bottom of the 3rd. So 5 of the 7 outs they've had in this game have been strikeouts. That one right down the middle. Grounded to the shortstop. The throw to first. Roberts not in time. So Jones will get a single. Napier next in the order. That pitch goes low. That one right down the middle, gets her swinging, can't make contact. 1-1 with 1 out. Napier in the first game reached base on all of her at-bats. 3 RBIs for her.
Yeah, she was instrumental in getting that lead early, and then she did not look back from there. When you can get on base and have a hit basically every time you're at bat. And she's staying alive in this count right now. I mean, not easy, 2-2 count. Just trying to get back under her feet again. But I tell you, if this Indy team can start to get a rally going, this game is definitely far from over right now. Only down 4 runs, like I talked about. They're a team that can explode very quickly. So we'll find only 2 hits so far. They're going to need to start to get the bats going a little bit more if they want to get back in this one.
They're being patient with it, maybe a little too patient, as Napier goes down looking. It's the 5th strikeout of the day for Cowan.
Yeah, from this angle, it looked like it was right down that pitch down the plate. And she did not swing at it. Maybe felt it was just about out of her reach there. But a great pitch there from Cowan.
Looked like she put that one, or was trying to put it in the same spot. The 1-0 from Cowan. This one popped up, running over to make the play is the shortstop. She snags it for the final out of the inning. So Indy unable to tack on any more runs there. The score remains 5-1 as we head to the top of the 4th. Voss on the mound for Indy, the top of this 4th inning. Hawkstra, the batter. She'll bunt it right out in front. The throw to first is not in time, as Jones was trying to make the play from home to Daniel. The leadoff single for Hawkstra. That's Egan, rather, at the top of the order. Want to know? That one's a strike to even the count.
A bit of breeze picked up. It's blowing in towards the field, so we can wonder if that ball goes up in the air, slow it down a bit. So important right now, not only to get hits, keeping them low on the ground. It seems like the players have had more struggle with that in terms of the pop outs.
1-2 on Cowan. She gets her looking. First out of the inning, a strikeout, courtesy of Voss on Cowan. That's her second of the day. She had 2 outs on a batter in the previous inning before Dowdy had to come out, and Voss came in for relief.
Yeah, how about Voss? Pitched that basically entire first game. I mean, yeah, did not go the full 7. I went about 5 innings, but they went with Dowdy, and an unexpected circumstance of injuring her shoulder. Voss has had to come in and relieve some of the duties, and certainly has done well so far. Hasn't allowed a run, and has been good, only with 1 out here, but doing her job with a runner on first.
A little bit of frustration after that one. See her kind of smacking her head a little bit.
Yeah, knew she shouldn't have swung at that. Just has to be a little bit smarter at the plate.
Here's the 1-2. She swings at that one. It was a little bit outside to the shortstop. They were trying to go for the double play, but they'll get her out at second.
They made the right play there. That runner did not advance. You'd rather get her out at second and then first and try to make the play over at first. Smart play there from the shortstop, Kaylin Napier.
Yeah, trying to go to the 6-4-3, but Scary team showing a lot of speed too as well. As Villa, that's her first hit of the day.
Yeah, you don't want to make it hard on yourself. You just want to make the right plays at the right time. Not trying to do too much. We've seen teams struggle with errors.
There's Roberts doing what we know she can do, but running up to make the play in the outfield is Lindwall, and that'll end the inning. Bottom of the fourth here, Cheyenne Daniel for Indy is the leadoff hitter. She's fourth in the order. Takes a big swing at that first one.
Yeah, a lot of speed on that first pitch. Got her looking from left to right and just curved just low on the strike zone. So just looking to paint the edges. I think that's the important thing. Getting it over the plate, but putting it at the right spot.
2 strikeouts on the day for Daniel. She struck out her first at bat in this one, as well as her second at bat in first game, or third at bat, excuse me. An RBI for her in that first game too. 14 total runs scored by Indy in that one. The 1-1, she takes a swing at it. Again, can't make contact. 1-2.
Yeah, Daniel just, she's got to regather herself, just beating herself up with just a little bit, like, hey, you're still in the count here, 1-2. You still have work to be done. Regather yourself and be smart. I noticed her, sorry to cut you off, I noticed her, she was stepping out of the batter's box a little bit too much. You know, that can be, at times, get you out of your rhythm. You know, stay in and stay focused and stay through the count.
And the pitcher can pick up on that too as she goes down swinging. All 3 of those strikes, swings and misses for Daniels to make it her 3rd strikeout of the day, and Cowan's 6th strikeout through 4 innings. This is Sellers, the first one on the third baseman. A strike as well. Cowan deciding on her pitch, the one she delivers. Be right down the middle. She swings at it again, 0-2.
And not only can Cowan, her arm talent is exceptional. Not only can she have a lot of speed when her pitches, but she paints the corners very well, able to read the batters. And it certainly seems like she's done a great job at continuing to do that.
2 in a row for Cowan, 7 on the day. I'm running out of room in my strikeout box for Cowan here on my score sheet.
Yeah, that's how impressive she has been. She's been off the charts impressive.
She has a chance to get him in order here. 4, 5, 6 in the lineup. That first one, she swings and misses again. This is Rollins.
You know, we talked about the importance of pitching, you know, especially in softball, and certainly, you know, Cowan has had a great command. Only allowed 2 hits, a run.
That one.
And boy, she's been everywhere.
I mean, like all pitchers, she's very, very intentional in the pitches she's throwing, and she's reading this batting order for Indy very well.
I think at times Indy at the plate just hasn't been the smartest at times. I mean, there's been a lot of pitches that have just been out of their reach. They just got to refocus and regather and look at what pitches to swing at, which not. Obviously, it's hard in the moment, but they're a smart team, and they got a lot of talent.
The 1-2. Low in the zone. Call it a strike, and that's 3 strikeouts in a row for Cowan. 8 on the day as we head to the top of the 5th. scoreless fourth inning to follow a scoreless third, but a bunt early by Gary. The play to first is in time. Daniel makes the catch on the bag. Out is Chavez.
Cheyenne Daniel's a great first baseman. She's doesn't drop too many balls that come her way. She's got great positioning on the bag, and so has had a big impact on the defensive side.
Hamer watches one go right down the middle, 0-1 with an early out. She'll bunt it again, bounces back, foul. Hamer takes a big whack at this one. Over in left field, can't make the play. The catch is Porter, but it's foul. So Hamer will return to the plate.
Yeah, fortunate to see that one go foul, because if that stayed inside of the left field line, that would have been fair and certainly could have been a double or a triple.
0-2 the count. We'll see if she can try to put it in the same spot. Not on that pitch, though.
I think Voss, though, has been great. I mean, when coming in a situation where your starting pitcher gets injured, you pitched last game, a little bit tired in that arm, has done great so far. Hasn't allowed a run since then. Yeah, a couple hits, but the main thing is no runs and keeping her in this game, keeping her team in this game.
Even in the count, that one way outside. Jones had to reach way over across her body to get it. Full count now. That one right down the middle. Smack to the shortstop. She's making the play to first. It will not be in time, though. This single will go for Hamer.
Yeah, Hamer showing a lot of speed. You know, Napier did everything right. Got to the ball as quick as she could. Made it a great throw with a lot of speed over to first, but Hamer just a bit faster. Able to get there in time, but you know, you look at it from a shortstop perspective. She did everything right, and looking to make that play again.
Ball flashes the bunt on the first one, but the pitch goes up and out. 1-0. That one, she takes a whack at it. It's over to Porter. She makes the snag, forcing Hamer to return to first. That's the second out of the inning. Porter's been very strong over in left field today.
Yeah, she certainly has. I mean, she's got a lot of speed out there, so she's quick. She can get to the ball quickly, and certainly has great eye coordination when that softball comes in her glove. And it's important to have an outfielder like that, saving plays and saving the game. I mean, quite frankly, if that ball drops, there's an opportunity for a score. So having a great outfield can really propel you and keep you in games.
Yeah, I've noticed too, she has really good depth perception. She can read the ball well when it's traveling. She's made a couple of pretty athletic plays there, so just really good on her for kind of being able to read that ball well. Hoekstra flashes the bunt. A lot of these girls are kind of flashing bunts and then deking out the pitcher.
Yeah, I mean, showing bunt definitely can throw off a pitcher a bit of where to place it. Like, you kind of expect that ball to go on the ground as soon as possible. But, yeah, I mean, that's definitely a thing as well, a strategy they've used. And, you know, Nate George, their head of operations, he talked about, you know, how fierce a competition this Gary team has. They have so many great girls, and he said that it's important that he tells his players got to stay humble, because they recognize that, and they know that, you know, it's not, if you don't play, it's not because you're good, it's just because there's so much competition, and Gary certainly seems like they have a deep roster.
Trying to steal second there is Hamer. She will do so successfully. The throw not in time. 2 down on the inning. 1 and 2 on Hofstra. That one. Strikeout to end the inning. Bottom of the 5th here between Gary and Indy. A scoreless 2.5 innings. The first one Cowan delivers is a strike. Taking a whack at that one.
Yeah, Racho Tomeo just sees 2 go down low and then strikes at the third. That swings at the third one. Just has to be a bit smart there. I think Indy, they have a lot of talented hitters, but at times their decision making can be a bit put into question. But right now, hearing the coach, she said down there, we got to get it back. We got to get it back right now because as this game goes on, they've put 3 straight innings with a 0 up on the board. And only with playing 7 innings, bottom of the 5th, they're going to have to start getting going quickly because they might just be running out of innings.
Racho came in to hit for Gadberry. And as we saw, went down. This would be Lindwall. Or Voss, rather. Voss comes in for Lindwall. So Voss has taken a big step in this game. She's come in. That one lobbed off the end of the bat and foul.
Yeah, as good as she's doing in pitching, perhaps she can propel this team offensively as well. Right now, only 2 hits. As good as they were in the first game, it's kind of been put to a halt here in this game too. And that helps when you have a pitcher as good as Cowan.
Well, that's 10. Would have been 10 if she could get her there. She'll walk. Porter at the plate now, a ball, 1 down. Bottom of the 5th. Pitch from Cowan gets her swinging. And her sister Cowan, fortunately we don't have first names for this Gary team, but 2 sisters at 1 and 2.
Yeah, the Cowan sisters, and that always helps when you have a sibling. That connection just runs even deeper, and when you're on the same page like they are, they have been a 1-2 punch. And certainly it's an important thing in baseball and softball to have your pitcher and catcher be in that same wavelength.
So she'll go down swinging, Porter, and that'll be the 10th strikeout of the day for Cowan. Back up at the top of the order now. It's Jones. First one to her is a ball. The second one, and they'll try to make the play at second. She was trying to steal. She gets there with plenty of time to spare to end the inning. Back at you from Chicago, Illinois. Gary at Indy. It's the top of the 6th following 3 scoreless innings. 5-1 has been the score since the top of the 2nd. Voss on the mound, getting a good piece of this one, smacks it into center field. Fumbling with it a little bit was Rollins, so a base hit there for Cowan.
Yeah, I mean, the first 1.5 innings all had a run in them, and since then 3.5 innings of zeros up on the board. So been a bit more of a defensive battle, more of a pitching duel, but 10 hits for Gary, and then already here in the 6th have a runner on base and looking to add to that lead. If they can find a way to get one, possibly 2 more runs, that could be the icing on the cake. So with about 2 innings left, we'll see if Gary can put some more insurance runs on.
It's definitely been a battle of the arms, as you mentioned. A bunt there from Egan. The throw to first in time. Daniel will make the play. That's the first time today that Egan hasn't reached base while she's been at bat. 3 singles, and then a ground out. But yes, a battle of the arms. Voss came in to relieve Dowdy. Dowdy was doing great and fortunate that she had to be done for this game. But Voss, really good on her. She hasn't let up a run. And then on the other side of things, you have Cowan. 10 strikeouts through 5 innings.
And I think as good as Cowan has been, I think Voss, you look at it, 10 hits. A lot of those came in the first 2 innings. But, since then, I think it's the timely strikeouts from her that have certainly allowed this to only be 5-1.
That one's popped up. They let it drop. Running back to make sure she's safe at second. And she is. A single there for Cowan.
Yeah, boy, that was a miscue. That shortstop, center fielder, and second baseman all right there around the ball.
Yeah.
And just nobody called it. Nobody was like, hey, this one's mine, everybody stay out. It was kind of a confusion there. When you have miscommunication and a timely part of the game where you need to make a play, not able to do that there, and now runners on first and second, a little bit costly.
Pinch runner will come in for Cowan. It's Cerseo. This is her second time coming in as a pinch runner. In this one, the 1-0 right down the middle. Evens the count at 1-1 with 1 down. At the plate now is Villa. A walk, a strikeout, and a single. She make it a double. It looks like we're progressively kind of working our way up with her, but that one fouled back for the second strike over our heads here in the broadcast booth.
Yeah, I thought that for a sec could have went over the net and towards our area. We'll have to keep an eye out because we've got a couple of those balls go right over the broadcast booth here.
That one goes back again. We have the windows open, so if it does, we're going to have to kind of shield our camera here. But we'll get a souvenir. Something to bring home.
But I guess the lack of softballs, that's going to be thrown back into field.
The 1-2. Slightly coming off the bag there was the pinch runner, Cerseo. She'll go back in time. Here's Roberts now.
Well, if you need one of your big hitters to come up in a big spot, with 2 outs, runners on first and second, really has a chance here.
Yeah, and I mentioned earlier, this is a good spot in the lineup for her. Gives the 2 or 3 ahead of her in the order a chance to get on base. She can hit. We've talked about how good of a swing she has. So she should definitely be able to drive some in. She already has an RBI. She had an RBI in her first at-bat and then went for a single in the second inning. She smacks this one down the third base line, tagging up. And that'll do it. The final out of the inning. It's a ground out on Roberts. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Back here from Chicago, Illinois, Cowan retakes the mound. She's been the lone pitcher for this Gary squad today, and what a job she's done.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it here in the bottom of the 6th, when you have an arm that can go the distance and consistently put up strikeouts, that is a huge weapon to have for Gary.
Jones gets a good piece of this one, smacks it into center field. Getting underneath it was Villa. She'll make the play. It's Napier here. That one a little outside. She decides not to swing at it. 1-0 the count.
You know, this Indy team, you know, with last year, that huge performance against the Royals, not only this year and last year, but since that game last year, they only put up 4 runs in the last 3 games. So for them, it's important to be consistent throughout this tournament if they want to have a chance to go to the next round.
And they definitely do have a chance, especially in this one. They're not very far out of it. It's been a pretty low-scoring affair, like we mentioned earlier. It's just a battle of the arms, so I think if they can kind of crack the code on Cowan here, that would be very beneficial, but it might be difficult. Walks are there, of course, just as I say that, but that's a good start for them.
Yeah, it certainly is, and I think for Cowan, this is a part of the game where, yeah, it's in the bottom of the 6th. Maybe the arm is starting to slow down just a bit. We see a walk there. This is where a chance Indy can capitalize. Only 1 out and a runner on first.
So Dowdy's back in the game. She's at the plate. She's come back to hit. She went down pitching. That's when Voss had to come in and relieve her. It looked like a little bit of shoulder pain, but hopefully she's feeling better now as we see her back out here. A swing and a miss for strike number 2. Lobs that one right off the end of the bat, straight back towards us again. The 1-2 pitch, she'll take a whack at it. This one gets through right to the shortstop. She tags up at second, and the double play will be in time to Roberts at first, as Dowdy is out right there.
Yeah, that was an exceptional play from the shortstop. I mean, fields it right in her tracks, able to step on second, and the ability to step in and fire the throw to first on time, accurate, and that is the double play to end the inning. Those are the type of plays that, you know, because if that ball gets through, there's a chance that she could go to second, possibly to third. Really big play there, and those are game-changing plays there for Gary. As good as they have been offensively, they have been just as good on the defensive side as well.
They certainly have. We'll see if they can close this one out on the Windy City Sports Network. the final inning. Taking a whack at this one, grounds it to center field. That's Chavez. She's been good today too. An RBI. Try to get her out at first. That play is unsuccessful. It's 1-0 on Hamer. She'll take a swing at this one. Pops up. There to make the play is Napier, the shortstop, for the first out of the inning. These batters are going pretty quickly. That one just foul on ball. Taking a swing at the first one she sees.
Important for Indy to try to put this half inning as quickly away as possible, because the longer Gary stays in this inning, Indy could be more tired, and right now they only have one more shot to try to tie this game. And you know, it starts with your defense to try to propel the offense, and the defense giving up 12 hits but 5 runs, only 5 runs, and down 4. But Voss has been good as well.
If they can field well in this inning, that was a good pitch to get her swinging. They can make sure Gary can't get any more in this one, and then have a really good offensive final showing in this one. Will make for quite the game, but she gets a good piece of this one in between the left and center gap, all the way back. They have to go to the track to get it, so that will bring in Chavez. An RBI double for Statham Ball.
She put that in the perfect position, right in that left center field gap. That ball just dropped down right in between the left fielder and center fielder. That was as good of a hit we've seen today. In the perfect position, brought in a run, an RBI double for her. And now that is all important run, making it a 5-run lead.
Hawkstra now at the plate. They're almost through the order. She's number 8. 2 strikes on her. And here's the 0-2, takes a swing at it, and she'll go down. They need one more out to end the inning. Stepping up to the plate here is Cowan. It's Voss's 4th strikeout of her showing. First one to Cavan. She'll chop at it right to Napier, the shortstop. The throw to first, way over the head of Daniel. But they're telling her to hold up at first. So a single for Cowan.
Yeah, Napier knows it too, just putting her hands on her head like, oh, the throw there is just not accurate, and just a bit over Daniel's head. And she knows that was a routine play, a routine ground ball. All she got to do is make that play at first, and that ball sailed on her as soon as she threw it. And that would have been an opportunity to close out this half inning and put them at a chance to the bottom of the 7th. But now this half inning still extends here in the first, and the runners at the corners.
Yeah, and they'll mark that one as an error as the pinch runner Melody comes in. This one foul to the right. We're back at the top of the order with Egan. Some pretty cool rainbow patterns on her bat.
Yeah, I did notice that. I think I have a couple there.
A ground out last time she stepped up to the plate. Another whack at this one to send it foul to the right. That one got a lot more air on it, though. She'll step to the side. Regroup, practice that swing. Two down. They'll switch up this field position as Napier and Rollins do a swap. Here's the 0-2. Chops at this one. It goes up. Making the play is Jones for the final out of the inning. And as we head to the bottom of the 7th, we'll see if Indy can come back from the 6-1 deficit. Back here for the bottom of the 7th as Gary leads Indy RBI 6-1. They're down 5, and they have 3 outs to do something about that. Cowan back out at the mound. She's been incredible today. Daniel at the plate. That first one will be a ball. The 1-0. She'll take a whack at it. Can't make contact.
Yeah, they're going to need Cheyenne Daniels' services right now. Hasn't really found her rhythm.
Now, they picked her to compete in that home run derby last night. So they definitely have some faith, good confidence in her hitting ability. And that hasn't been shown off all too well today. But if she's going to do it, now's the time more than ever at any other point today. That was the 1-2. It'll even the count.
Yeah, smart there. That went low, just outside of the zone. Able to read that well. And now on a 2-2 count here. They're going to need her right now.
Cowan delivers the pitch. And Daniel goes down swinging. The first out. 2 more to try and come back from the 6-1 deficit.
You know, I think Gary, throughout this tournament and pool play is going to be a force to be reckoned with just due to their bullpen and their pitching, and also their infield as well. They make some great plays we've seen from the shortstop, but Cowan has certainly had a good command of this game, and she has been in control the entire time. And not only have they had 1 run, but 2 hits as well. That came in the first. Since then, it's been all Cowan. That's just a testament to her ability.
The 1-0 gets her swinging. Up at the plate now is Sellers. She struck out Sellers twice today already, looking to get a 3rd one with 1 down. The 1-1. That one a little bit low. She'll go low on that one as well. So Sellers up in the count. It's 3-1.
They're telling her good eye because she's really had, so far in 3-1 count. Cowan has shown no signs of slowing down.
That one will be a strike. The count now full. What does Cowan go for here?
You know, I think you got to put something across the plate, and you don't want to have a situation where you want to walk the batter.
That's exactly what she did.
Yeah, and Sellers kind of check swinged at that, didn't fully commit to it. In that situation, you got to go or not. And certainly right there, Cowan just getting it done once again, and now has a chance to close it out.
Rollins at the plate, the first one. She swings and misses. She's also struck out Rollins twice today, as that one is fouled back and to the right. Cowan up in the count. Here's the 0-2. That one looked a little low. Cowan delivers the pitch, whacked at. It's right along the third base line. The throw will not be in time. So a single for Rollins. A little bit of restored hope as they have one out left to do something about the 5-run hole they're in. And Rollins gets on base for the first time in this game.
Yeah, but how about that extension from Savannah Roberts? I mean, yeah, she was safe, but, I mean, that ball was sailing to the right of her. She had to extend her leg and make that play out, because if not, that could have been behind him, possibly gone to second to third. So Roberts keeping it alive for now. But like you talked about, a little bit of restored hope, just trying to have one final push. Until that third out happens, the game's always alive. And Indiana, for Indy, it's right here, right now.
Gadberry, 8th in the order with 2 down. That one she whacks off the end of her bat, running to try and make the play, but the ball is foul. So Gadberry will come on back to the plate, 0-1 the count. That one right over the plate. And they'll try to make the throw to first. One more strike to end the game and get her team the victory. The 0-2 smacked right to the shortstop. The throw to first to Roberts in time, and that will do it. 6-1 the final score. Gary over Indy. 10 strikeouts total. Or 12 with the 2 she had in that inning for Cowan. And what a showing for Gary as they're at their first regional tournament as a softball program here.
Yeah, they've been impressive, and I mean, their first showing, pitching was exceptional, hitting 13 hits, 6 runs, only 6 runs, but I mean, their bats were going, and as impressive they were offensively. That defensive side, in the infield, not too many errors, only 2 errors, and they shut down Indy after that first inning. It was all zeros from there on the scoreboard, so hats off to Gary, but also hats off to Indy as well. Going back-to-back games, not easy to do, especially in the morning. And he's going to get some well-needed rest, and they'll be back at it tomorrow.
We'll be back at it in about half an hour. We have the White Sox and the Royals softball programs here in Chicago, Illinois. We'll see you in about half an hour on the Windy City Sports Network.